If you dream of restoring an old home to its former glory, or if you're thinking about making some money in the fix and flip game, today's video is for you. Today we're answering the question, should I buy a fixer-upper? And we're talking about 4 things you should consider if you are thinking about buying a fixer-upper, and 3 costly repairs that I see frequently in the fixer-upper game here in Pittsburgh. So let's talk briefly about the fixer-upper, let's say, hype that's going on. Everyone's talking about, I want to buy a fixer-upper, it's so popular, shows like HGTV really make it look easy, but is it right for you? And that's what we're talking about today. So if you're thinking about getting into the fixer-upper game, there's 4 things you should consider, but the first thing is your financial situation. And this is a big one. There's a lot to unpack here. So ideally, if you're buying a fixer that needs a lot of work, it's better to buy it in cash, but a lot of people don't have that available. So let's say you are going to finance your purchase. It really makes a big difference, the quality and the condition of the home. So if the condition of the home is poor and there are structural issues or water in the basement or major things that cause the house to be unlivable, the loan type is going to be very important because there are certain loans that are going to have stipulations against those types of condition issues. So knowing the type of property that you're looking for, and if you are looking for a fixer-upper that needs heavy remodeling, you'll have to address that up front. The other thing to consider is just the money that it's going to take you out of pocket. So anytime you finance a home, you're going to have closing costs that go along with the purchase of that home. You're going to have to set up your escrow account. You're going to have to pay for your transfer taxes and your title insurance, your origination fees. All of those charges are going to be the same with a fixer-upper, but then on top of that, you're going to have the money that it actually takes to remodel the home, which depending on the types of repairs that it needs, could add up quickly. The second thing I would look at is your lifestyle. Are you accustomed to eating out all the time? Are you accustomed to traveling a lot? Are you accustomed to living in a clean, pristine home? That may not be the case with a fixer-upper. If you're going to have to live in the home while you're doing construction, it's going to be a little bit messy, it's going to be noisy, it's going to be disorganized. Are you okay with that? You know, and you might be. I've lived through a remodel myself, and trust me, there are good and bad parts of it. You're going to have to take a look at how much time you have available. If you work a lot, or if you like to be away a lot traveling, a fixer-upper lifestyle might not be for you because you're going to have to devote quite a bit of time and money to this project. So make sure that you're willing to give that up. You might also have to live on a limited budget. So if you're used to eating out, or if you're used to, like I said, traveling or doing all of these extra things, that's something to consider before you get into a fixer-upper, because it's probably going to change that picture a little bit until the remodeling project is done. The third thing you need to consider is your construction ability, and be honest with yourself on this one. Are you handy? Do you have a contractor background? If not, you're probably going to have to contract some of this out. And like I said, be honest, because you want to make sure that you're getting your time frame and your budget right. And both of those things are going to be heavily dependent on whether you're doing the work yourself or whether you're contracting it out. A lot of people think I'm going to tackle this project in a weekend, and it ends up taking a month. So just be aware of that up front. What is your construction ability, and how much time do you have to devote to this project? The last thing you need to consider, and this is a big one, the 4th thing you need to consider, is the home's issues. You want to make sure during the due diligence process of purchasing this home that you have a contractor out to give you an estimate on all the repairs, but that you also have a really good home inspection. Because sometimes fixer-uppers have hidden issues, it's going to be important that you have a great home inspection. And just know going in that there still may be issues that even the home inspector isn't able to see. The home inspector is not going to be able to open up a wall and see if there's mold behind the sheetrock or the drywall. The home inspector is not going to be digging up the front yard to see if there's a sewer issue. So you need to know that there's going to be a certain amount of things that could pop up as a surprise down the road, especially on a fixer-upper, and especially if it's a foreclosure where there's no seller to tell you what happened with the house. So just make sure that you do your best due diligence up front to make sure that you know to the best of your ability all of the issues about the house. So I did say at the beginning of this video that I would give you 3 costly repairs that I see frequently here in the Pittsburgh area. Now granted, if you're from California, these issues would be different. But in Pittsburgh, the number one issue I see that's going to cost you a lot of money to repair are foundation issues. Unfortunately, if you know Pittsburgh, you know we have tough winters. There's a lot of freezing, there's a lot of thawing, there's a lot of moisture. So it wreaks havoc on our foundations. I have seen foundation repair quotes go up to $25,000. And for someone this is your first fixer-upper, that's a big ticket item. So make sure to have your foundation evaluated. The second item that I see a lot of in older homes in Pittsburgh is knob and tube wiring. So knob and tube wiring is really old. Insurance companies unfortunately have an issue with it, and a lot of times they require that it be removed. And removing it is not as easy as you'd think. It oftentimes, unfortunately, involves removing a lot of the plaster or the drywall that's present and then removing the knob and tube from behind it. And then you have to actually repair the drywall after that. That's not including the cost to repair the drywall or the plaster. So that's something you want to watch out for. So look in the unfinished spaces, the basements, the attics where you can see the wiring. Make sure it's not there. Have a home inspector test some of the outlets, or maybe remove the faceplate on a couple outlets to see if there looks to be knob and tube behind there, because that could be an insurance issue down the road, and it could also be a safety hazard down the road. The third item that I see a lot of is sewer line repair. So because we are an aging city, we see a lot of cracked sewer lines, collapsed sewer lines that have come apart, and that can be very expensive because you have to dig down, uncover the line, replace the line. If you have to cross a driveway and redo the asphalt or the concrete, then it really gets expensive. So make sure that you have a sewer cam done with your home inspection. It's wise to do up front. The $200 or the $250 it might cost you up front to do that sewer line inspection is well worth it if you're going to have a 6, 8, or 10 grand repair down the road. And trust me, if you get into concrete work or if the line is too far down and you really have to excavate to get to that, 10 grand might actually be on the low end of your estimate. So those are 4 things you should consider if you're thinking about buying a fixer-upper, and 3 costly repair items that I see here in Pittsburgh. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you found value in this today, guys. Leave comments down below, leave extra questions down below, and we'll certainly get answers to you. Give us some hearts and some likes, some thumbs up. We certainly love to know that you're liking our videos. And do subscribe to our video. We don't want you to miss out on any of our monthly market updates or our weekly videos. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.